first paragraph for you.
Alright. Still loading.これでようやく両手両足がつき、とりあえず顔面の形になった。あとはサングラスね。リーロンが設計図を確認しながら言った。サングラスどうしても必要なんですって。あなたの兄貴が顔面にサングラスか。So finally, the arms and legs have been attached, and like more or less looks like a gunman, or it's like for now it looks like a gunman. All that's left is sunglasses. Idon says while checking the blueprints. Shimon says sunglasses, and then he says, "Your big brother is the one that said that he needs them no matter what." And then Shimon says, "Sunglasses on a gunman, huh?"
横たわれている、グーレンがサングラスを知っているところを想像するシモン。Shimon, who is imagining the gunman that is laying down that has sunglasses. しかし、どうにもうまくいくなかった。However, no matter how hard he tried, it didn't really turn out well. かっこいいのかなそれって。ついついそう思ってしまう。Would that be cool? And that's basically it. That's all he really kind of unintentionally thought. もう一人のヒーローは随分地味なのね。Our one other hero is quite plain, huh? Isn't he? 突然のヨーコの声にシモンが驚いて振り返った。Shimon turns around in surprise when he heard Yoko say the previous sentence so suddenly. 格納庫の入り口にYokoが立っていた。Yoko was standing in front of the secret hideout hangars, in front of the hangars entrance.
俺はヒーローなんかじゃないよ。どうかな。Yokoにしてみれば、シモンもカミナもどっちもヒーローに見えた。本人がそう呼ばれたくないのなら、呼びはしないが。ねえ、ちょっといい？話したいことがあるの？俺と。こんな夜に二人っきりって、シモンの脳の鼓動が速くなった。でも、シモンはリーロンの方を見た。So he says, I'm not anything like a hero, She says, oh really? From her perspective, Yoko's perspective, Shimon and Kamina both seem like heroes, or look like heroes. Oh, it was Mune, not Null.
Hi.
Good catch. That actually makes a lot more sense. But anyways, if the person himself doesn't want to be called that, then she won't call him that. And she says, hey, can you come with me for a bit? He goes, huh? And she says, there's something I want to talk to you about. He says, with me? Alone, all alone on a night like this, or alone together, that is. The beating in Shimon's chest got faster. He says, but, and he looks at in the direction of Needle.
二人の話を聞いていた理論は、シモンがこっちを向くのを待ち構えていた。Liron, who was listening to the two of their stories, he is lying in wait for Shimon to look toward him. ここならもう大丈夫よ。ラガの力が必要な作業はもうないわ。If it's from now, it's all good for you to do that. I don't really need the work. I don't really need Nangan's power to finish the work, basically. But it's like it doesn't really say that, but that's the meaning behind it. だって、but念押しするように言う陽子に 押し切られるようにシモンがうなずく。Shimon nods. I'm kind of confused by the sentence. He nods in order to
I think
be pushed aside by what Yoko wanted
so
to remind him for.
not quite. He nods as if being pushed to do so to Yoko, who is saying it as if to remind him.
Of what? Well,
Right. There's a causative with Shimon, so he's doing it as if being pushed to do so.
Rareru isn't causative. Rareru is passive, and Yoni could be in order to or as if.
It's one that
to be.
Yeah,
to be
right.
pushed.
It's one that like it's being done to him. Right?
Yeah.
I may have the word wrong.
To be forced. Yeah. To be forced by Yoko.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I have the concept of the grammar right in my head, but not the terminology.
Yeah. And just the nenosu was what confused me, because like, how is she reminding him of anything?
Yeah, I think there may be a different connotation than what the English dictionary has for that.
Hopefully, because like, is she saying that thing? Because it doesn't make sense. Because like because Leland's like, you can go, and then maybe she like pushes him. It's just it's odd to have you. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I think it is Yoko's. Or wait.
Well, Yoko wouldn't be saying date because
Yoko
I
think is saying date.
But she's
that is weird.
That doesn't need to be needed.
That does sound like something Shimon would say, doesn't it?
It feels like she's supposed to
even
like
if you don't need
like
Gurren, maybe
not
you
like
need
push him.
Yeah. It may be.
You think?
It may be like a date, like you're not needed, so.
Oh, maybe.
You know, usually date is like.
But
like
in a negative kind of way.
Contrastive phrase.
Yeah.
But it may be, because of that, you can go. It's the opposite. That's my guess, at least.
I mean, maybe. Sure that was weird. Okay.
Like Bakara would be more better.
Something, yeah. 格の子を出ていく二人を見送ったリロンがおかしそうに微笑んだ。So Riran, who saw those two off, who went to go out of the hangar, he is smiling in a haha, that's funny kind of way. 本当は作業を放っておいてでも行きたいくせに。男って本当可愛いわね。So even though he really wanted to go and not and leave, he wanted to go and just leave the work. Boys are quite cute. So she's saying that even though Shimon was like, "Ooh, I don't want to go," he knew that he did want to go.
I had no idea that Okashi had that kanji. I've never seen it spelled kanji before. It's kind of funny. Reminds me of Kai a lot. Very similar idea.
Hi.
Anyways, I'll continue. アジトの外に出たシモンとヨーコは並んで岩に腰を下ろしていた。宴会の声はここにも聞こえていた。夜空を見上げていたヨーコが微笑んだ。みんな楽しそう。そうだね。シモンはうつむき、たまにチラチラとヨーコを見ることしかできない。ねえ、何？彼、大丈夫かな？So, Shimon and Yoko, who had left the hideout, are sitting next to each other on a rock. The voices from the feast can be heard even from here. Yoko is smiling and looking up at the sky, at the night sky, and she says, "Everyone seems like they're having fun." And he says, "Oh, yeah." And he's looking down, And every now and then he's kind of taking a bit at Yoko, but that's all I can do. And she goes, hey. And then Shimon says, yeah. And then she says, is he okay? And Shimon goes, huh?
Shimon はヨーコが話そうとしているのがカメラのことだと気づいた。Shimon, so Shimon just realized that Yoko was talking about Kamina when Yoko was attempting to start the conversation. It's a weird way to write that. Yoko is about to start a conversation, and Shimon realized it was about Kamina.
The person that she's trying to talk about is Kamina.
そうそう。
And he just noticed.
なんだそうか。残念だったけど少しほっとした。Oh, so that's what it was. He was a little bit disappointed, but also a little bit relieved. シモンがそんなことを考えているとは知らないヨーコは話を続けた。Yoko, who had no idea that Shimon was thinking those sort of things, continued talking. 別れたお父さんに会いたくて地上に出てきたんでしょ。それがあんなにあっけなく死んでて。So he really wanted to meet with his father who separated them, so he went up to the surface, right? So, and then that meeting with his father had basically died in such at a disappointing way. 宴会で明るく振る舞っているのもそのショックを隠すためではないかとヨーコはそう思っていた。Yoko was thinking that perhaps Kamina was hiding the fact that the shock of the previous things she mentioned with the dancing and the waving and of the bright banquet.
さっきまであんなに泣いていたのだから、そう考えても仕方ないだろう。でも、シモニはそう思わなかった。多分違う。何が違うの？親父さんに会いたかったんじゃない？親父さんと一緒に行けなかった自分が悔しかったんだ。だから、いける自分になって、それで親父さんに会いたかったんだ。Okay, that's kind of complicated.
I'm good with those kind of convoluted. Like these ones, confuse me so much more. I was like, ah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, the complicated parts at the end. So I'll do everything else first. So he'd been crying like that up until just recently. So it can't be helped that you would think that, right? Like because Kamina was crying, but Shimon doesn't think it this way. He says that's probably not correct. And she says, what's not correct? Okay. So what I think he's saying in this next part is he didn't want to see his dad. Or it's not that he wanted to meet his dad.
Hi.
He wasn't able to go with his dad before. And so he, felt like regret because of that. Mm-hmm. Right? He felt bad things. So he wanted to become like a form of himself that could go. And as that version of himself, he wanted to meet his dad.
ヨーコはシモンの言ったことを頭の中で繰り返してみた。でも何度繰り返してもお父さんに会いたかったという、結論になってしまう。So Yoko, she kind of spun the words that Shimon said in her head. And however, no matter how many times she thought about those words, she just would come to the conclusion that he wanted to meet his dad. そう口に出すと、シモンが、 即座に否定した。However, when she said so, Shimon instantly said no to that. 違うよ。全然違う。It's wrong. It's totally wrong. しかし、シモンもそこで言いよどんでしまう。多分。However, Shimon also hesitated, so he added 多分 to the end of his sentence, probably.
うん。よくわからないな。ごめん、俺、うまく言えなくて。結局、神田がどう思ってるのかよくはわからなかった。ただ、心配する必要がないことと、自分はそれが分かっていることだけは理解できた。大丈夫ならいいわ。ごめんね。変なこと聞いて。陽子が立ち上がった。This says, I don't really get it. And he says, sorry, I wasn't able to say it well. And in the end, Yoko did not understand what Kami is thinking or how Kami is thinking. But she just gets that that she doesn't need to be worried, and that, or I guess that Shimon understands that there's no need to be worried. That's the only thing she's able to understand. She says if everything's all right, then that's fine. Sorry for asking something weird. And she gets up.
アジトの方へと歩き出した横にシモンの口から小さな声が漏れた。So Yoko, who has started off toward the hideout, toward that Yoko, Shimon, he lets out a small little noise. だがその声はYokoの耳に届くにはあまりにも小さすぎた。However, that voice was a little bit too small, so it did not reach Yoko's ears. 黒い峡谷に明るい光の筋を伸ばすアジトの入り口にYokoの姿は消えていた。So Yoko, he disappeared into the entrance of the hideout that has lights coming out of the hideout that are kind of streaming out of the hideout in like a line-like way, like line out of the windows out into the dark valley thing.
シモンは足元で寝てるブータに視線を向けた。もう少し陽子といたかった。体のことだけじゃなく自分の話もしたかった。でも呼び止める勇気はなかった。シモンはブータの背中を優しく撫でてやった。まるで自分の心を撫でてやるかのように。So Shimon, looks at Buddha that is sleeping by his feet, and he wanted to be with Yoko just a bit more. He didn't want to talk about just Kamina. He also wanted to talk about himself, but he didn't have the courage to call and stop her. Shimon, gently or like kindly pets Buddha's back, and it's as if he's petting his own heart.
So we're at like a chapter ender, but we're also quite a bit earlier. So should we pause here or continue?
Yeah. I do feel like reading more, but I feel like it'll be easier to start up next time if we stop here.
Whatever works for me.
Okay. Yeah. So let's go ahead and stop here for now.
Okay. That point. Cool.
So
Yeah.
my